Good evening. Good evening to you all from high up here in Yokohama. Very peaceful down there, tranquil. No drugs, no alcohol, no piss takers. Just calm. Because everyone is educated and with the same level of experience here in Japan compared to any other country on this planet. These people have done a great job in making their nation and their people and their past generation has paved the way for the current generation and all the other future generations to continue improving a little bit better than how they found it when their grandparents, their parents lived. Anywhere else in the world, you take, for example, a great nation of America. What a confusing life they're having to live. You take, for example, Great Britain. What a fragmented, what a disorganized. There's strikes going on. There's all sorts of issues. The politicians are blaming one another for not things done. But they haven't got a plan. They haven't got an idea as to how they could make things work better. But the politicians who are in government are playing for themselves, making money for themselves, doing all kinds of magical transactions to exclude themselves from this so-called the common man's day-to-day life, how it should be lived. It's dictated in a way that you work, I sit and enjoy the life kind of attitude. It is sad as I see this very humble, very involved society, yet nobody seems to get a little leaf, not the same projection, but a little leaf from this nation. And why don't you put to work? Because when you go out there, the trains are working, the buses are working, everything seems to be working what is meant to. People are getting around, going about, without somebody bouncing onto you, coming at you and asking and begging, and you don't know if somebody's going to shoot at you or stab at you or steal from you. I was walking out any time of the day. You may have a different opinion about it, but all the places I've been around the world, it's not that the people, the citizens, the people of the land is bad. It is the policies and the procedures and the government and the authorities that are in place that have made the population and the people fend for themselves to survive another day. But here, you look around, even the beggars are so well dressed, so well mannered, so well clean. You can't even notice they are beggars and homeless. It is not a society that is immune to those conditions. Yet there's some kind of self-esteem or pride that the people of this nation, for some reason, have got together to pull for themselves, to make it a life, a livable one. Not a one that is fearful, not a one that is concerned about, worried about. When you go out, can I get to work on time? Will there be a strike? Will the nurses be on strike? Will the train drivers be on strike? Will the aviation industry be on strike? Will the maritime shipping will be on strike? Will the border patrol be on strike? All of these concerns. Will there be a protest? Will there be an unrest? Will there be a sudden spurt of a protest that turns violent? You take South America, Peru, just recent events that's going on, Turkey, France for that matter, England, America. Don't talk to me about it. Why are we as human beings unable to gather this very fundamental basic necessities? Everyone needs clean air, clean water, arable land to produce good enough food that they don't have to resort to chemicals and other backstreet stuff. I just cannot understand why the rest of the world and their humanity and their population is struggling so much compared to this nation. Why is the question I ask all the leaders of this world. They go to all the so-called summits, meetings, conventions, conferences, global summits, this, the other. Nothing seems to be coming out as a result of finding a common solution to human problems that we all know that we humans have caused. Here, look out. They're finding solutions to the human problems. For some way or the other, they try to solve the problem so that it doesn't impact the daily life. Why isn't any other nation capable of this fundamental, basic platform as the only way to make humanity progress, flourish, flower, blossom, thrive, excel in whatever they do? You need to create an ambience. You need to create an environment that it's able to live and it is livable. That your children could go to school free in the sense alone. Even when they're 2, 3, 4-year-old kids going to school here alone on the public transport in the most busiest hours, and they get there safely and soundly. It's because they created an environment and a society, a social balance that everyone is supporting and everyone is getting on with their life. They created this safety, security, assurance, a promise, a deliverables. All of those things are everywhere else in the world is in the context of words and in policies and procedures, but none seems to be put into practice, particularly by the leaders and the so-called politicians. so-called the people who are guiding us. I hope people who listen have somewhat strength and ambition to do something different, so that your people and the nation and the rest of the world has a future. At least we can leave a future for the next generation to progress into a better and a more stable and a healthy lifestyle. All we can do is just that in this brief moment of time in our lives. Why don't we invest in making something beneficial to the humanity as a whole? I don't read off scriptures. I call and speak out from my own heart, because I feel the sadness and struggle that my hands are not enough alone to make a difference on this planet, but I'll continue to do what I can. It is all I can do.